I was not ready for a goddamn bop at the start. This is a jam. I have taken far too much time to play this. I'm aware. I've had many people over many years tell me online, in person, to play this game. I downloaded it when it came out even. I was like, yeah, I'll play this. Why not? Why wouldn't I play this? It's been sitting on my hard drive for years, and I know that there's even like a newer version of it out. I don't quite know if it's a sequel or not. I am aware that it is actually a horror game. I'm gonna go without the glasses, I think. What do you think? Yeah, I look funny now, right? We have our emotional support Peaches here, and down in the shadows, emotional support Kyoko. You literally, yep, there she is. And then he's always here. Just fun fact for when I'm recording, I will let you out in a second, Kiki. He's always down here. He has made a bed out of the clothes I had in my chair. Little man, Simon, come say hi. Come say hi, come here. Come here, buddy. He's always down here, my little emotional support Simon. But yeah, go ahead, you can go lay back down, buddy, thank you. I'll need you later though, trust me. And now we have emotional support Pablo. All right, so all the animals are here while we play whatever this is going to be. Apologize for any animal noises in the background. So without further ado, because I've spent far too long introducing you to my animals in this video, we're gonna start a new game. It says load game, but I have not played. Got nothing. New game. Please enter my name. I usually go by Red in games, but we'll do my actual name. Make it a little bit more personal. Hey! I see an annoying girl. Oh, I didn't say it. It's an annoying girl. Hey! I see an annoying girl running toward me from the distance, waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious to any attention she might draw to herself. That girl is Sayori, my neighbor and good friend since we were children. You know, the kind of friend you'd never see yourself making today, but it just kind of works out because you've known each other for so long. We used to walk to school together on days like this, but starting around high school, she would oversleep more and more frequently, and I would get tired of waiting up. But if she's going to chase after me like this, I almost feel better off running away. However, I just sigh and idle in front of the crosswalk and let Sayori catch up to me. I overslept again, but I caught you this time. Maybe, but only because I decided to stop and wait for you. And you say that like you were thinking about ignoring me. God, the anime stances, the anime girl stances. That's mean, Jordan. Well, if people stare at you for acting weird, then I don't want them to think we're a couple or something. Fine, fine. But you did wait for me after all. I guess you don't have it in you to be mean, even if you wanted to. Whatever you say, Sayori. We cross the street. That was oddly too good, actually. We cross the street together and make our way to school. As we draw near, the streets become increasingly speckled with other students making their daily commute. By the way, Jordan, have you decided on a club to join yet? A club? I told you already, I'm not interested in joining any clubs. I haven't been looking either. Eh? That's not true. You told me you'd join a club this year. Did I? I'm sure it's possible that I did in one of our many conversations where I dismissively go along with whatever she's going on about. Sayori likes to worry a little too much about me when I'm perfectly content just getting by on the average while spending my free time on games and anime. Relatable. Relatable, Jordan. Relatable. Uh-huh. I was talking about how I'm worried that you won't learn how to socialize or have any skills before college. Your happiness is really important to me, you know. And I know you're happy now, but I die at the thought of you becoming a NEET in a few years because you're not used to the real world. What is a NEET? This is a term used in the field of education. The acronym stands for not in education, employment, or training, but young people have started to use it as a term for bums and layabouts with no future. Cool. And I know you're happy now, but I die at the thought of you becoming a NEET in a few years because you're not used to the real world. You trust me, right? I don't know why I'm making her that way. Don't make me keep worrying about you. All right. I'll look at a few clubs if it makes you happy. No promises, though. Will you at least promise me you'll try a little? Yeah, I guess I'll promise you that. Yay! Why did I get myself lectured by such a carefree girl? More than that, I'm surprised I even let myself relent to her. I guess seeing her worry so much about me makes me want to ease her mind at least a little bit, even if she doesn't exaggerate everything inside of her head. The school day is as ordinary as ever, and it's over before I know it. After I pack up my things, I stare blankly at the wall looking for an ounce of motivation. Clubs. Sayori wants me to check out some clubs. I guess I have no choice but to start with the anime club. Yeah, I guess there's no other choice. No other clubs out there in the entire school. You gotta start with the anime one. Hello? Sayori? Sayori must have come into the classroom while I was spacing out. I look around and realize I'm the only one left in the classroom. I thought I'd catch you coming out of the classroom, but I saw you just sitting here and spacing out, so I came in. Honestly, you're even worse than me sometimes. I'm impressed. You don't need to wait up for me if it's going to make you late to your own club. Well, I thought you might need some encouragement, so I thought, you know. Know what? Well, that you could come to my club? Sayori. Yeah? There's no way I'm going to your club. Mimi. Sayori is vice president of the literature club. Not that I was ever aware that she had any interest in literature. In fact, I'm 99% sure she only did it because she thought it would be fun to help start a new club. Since she was the first one to show any interest after the one who proposed the club, she inherited the title vice president. That said, my interest in literature is guaranteed to be even less. Yeah, I'm going to the anime club. Come on, please. Why do you care so much anyway? Well, I kind of told the club yesterday I would bring in a new member. And Natsuki made cupcakes and everything. Don't make promises you can't keep. I can't tell if Sayori is really that much of an airhead or if she's so cunning as to have it planned all of this out. I don't know, she's probably pretty cunning. I let out a long sigh. Fine, I'll stop by for a cupcake, okay? Yes, let's go! Or let's go! And thus marks the day I sold my soul for a cupcake. Relatable. Peachy, are you okay? All right, good. I dejectedly follow Sayori across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit, but generally used for third-year classes and activities. Sayori, full of energy, swings open the classroom door. Everyone, the new member is here! I told you, don't call me a new member. Huh? I glance around the room. I don't know what voice to give you. Welcome to the literature club. It's a pleasure meeting you. You kind of look like you got that, like, air of wealth around you. I don't know. Sayori always says nice things about you. I can't voice act for shit anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Seriously? You brought a boy? Is how I read that. So I'm just gonna stick with that. Way to kill the atmosphere. Okay, you actually look relatively normal though. I wish I could do a generic anime girl voice. Ah, Jordan, what a nice surprise. Welcome to the club. Wait, did she introduce me already? All words escape me in this situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls! I really am a neat, aren't I? What are you looking at? If you want to say something, say it. Sorry. Natsuki. Huh. The girl with the sour attitude, whose name is apparently Natsuki, is one I don't recognize. Or Natsuki. Her small figure makes me think she's probably a first year. She is also the one who made the cupcakes, according to Sayori. You can just ignore her when she gets moody. Sayori says that quietly in my ear and then turns back towards the other girls. Anyway, this is Natsuki, always full of energy. And this is Yuri, the smartest in the club. Oh, so she's shy. So I actually picked an okay voice for her. I'm not gonna remember their voices. I'm scared of that. Don't say things like that. Yuri, who appears comparably more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with people like Sayori and Natsuki. Ah, well, it's nice to meet both of you. And it sounds like you already know Monica, is that right? That's right! I can't get her voice. It's great to see you again, Jordan. I don't know you. I don't know you, Monica. What is happening with your spine there? How are you possibly standing like that? Monica smiles sweetly. We do know each other. Oh, okay. Well, we rarely talk, but we were in the same class last year. Ah, okay. Monica was probably the most popular girl in class. Smart, beautiful, athletic. Basically, completely out of my league. So having her smile at me so genuinely feels a little disingenuous. You too, Monica. Come sit down, Jordan. We made room for you at the table so you can sit next to me or Monica. I'll get cupcakes. Hey, I made them. I'll get them. Sorry, I got a little too excited. Then how about I make some tea as well? The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. As Sayori mentioned, it's been widened so that there's one space next to Monica and one space next to Sayori. Natsuki and Yuri walk over to the corner of the room where Natsuki grabs a wrap tray and Yuri opens the closet. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Sayori. Natsuki proudly marches back to the table, tray in hand. Okay, are you ready? Ta-da! Whoa! Natsuki lifts the foil off the tray to reveal a dozen white, fluffy cupcakes decorated to look like little cats. That's adorable. Peachy, where are you? Kiki. The whiskers are drawn with icing and little pieces of chocolate were used to make ears. That is so cute. That's what I said, Sayori. So cute. I had no idea. What voice do I give you, Monica? I had no idea you were so good at baking, Natsuki. Well, you know. Just hurry and take one. Sayori grabs one first, then Monica. I follow. It's delicious. Sayori talks with her mouth full and has already managed to get icing on her face. I turn the cupcake around in my fingers looking for the best angle to take a bite. Natsuki is quiet. I can't help but notice her sneaking glances in my direction. Is she waiting for me to take a bite? I finally bite down. The icing is sweet and full of flavor. I wonder if she made it herself. This is really good. Thank you, Natsuki. Why are you thanking me? It's not like Haven't I heard this somewhere before? Made them for you or anything. Yeah, I thought you technically did. Sayori said, well, maybe. But not for, you, dummy. All right. I give up on Natsuki's weird logic and dismiss the conversation. Yuri returns to the table carrying a tea set. Not much of a tea drinker myself, but I respect it. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot to the cupcake tray, next to the cupcake tray. You keep a whole tea set in this classroom? Don't worry, the teachers gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? I guess? Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. That's not... Insulted, Yuri looks away. I mean, that... You know. I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but I at least enjoy tea. I'm glad. I kind of like Yuri so far. Monica is very confident. Not sure how I feel yet, though. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. Monica raises an eyebrow, then smiles at me. So, what made you consider the literature club? I was afraid of this question. Something tells me I shouldn't tell Monica that I was practically dragged here by Sayori. The answer is cupcakes. Well, I haven't joined any clubs yet, and Sayori seemed really happy here, so... That's okay. Don't be embarrassed. We'll make sure you feel right at home, okay? As president of the literature club, it's my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. Monica, I'm surprised. How come you decided to start your own club? You could probably be a board member for any of the major clubs. Weren't you a leader of the debate club last year? Well, you know. I don't. I can't stand all the politics around the major clubs. It feels like nothing but arguing about the budget and publicity and how to prepare for events. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. And if it encourages others to get into literature, then I'm fulfilling that dream. Monica, it really is a great leader. Yuri also nods in agreement. Then I'm surprised there aren't more people in the club yet. It must be hard to start a new club. You could put it that way. Not many people are very interested in putting out all the effort to start something brand new. Especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention, like literature. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile. But it makes school events like the festival that much more important. I'm confident that we can all grow this club before we graduate. Right, everyone? Yeah! We'll do our best. You know it! Everyone enthusiastically agrees. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monica must have worked really hard to find these three. Maybe that's why they were also delighted by the new idea of a new member joining. Though I don't really know if I can keep up with their level of enthusiasm about literature. So Jordan, what kind of things do you like to read? Well, manga. Considering how little I've read these past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that. Manga. Oh, boy, do I know myself a little too well. I mutter quietly to myself, half joking. I was full on serious about it. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. It looks like if she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet. Does Natsuki like manga? Not much of a reader, I guess. Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you, Yuri? Well, let's see. Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her finger. My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me. And telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seems so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in, but it's obvious by the way her eyes light up that she finds her comfort in the world's books, not people. I get it, Yuri. I feel it. But you know, I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how a writer can so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately. I read a horror book once. Smooth. Smooth, Jordan. Just the smoothest. I read a book once. Okay, I desperately grasped something I can relate to at the minimal level. At this rate, Yuri's might as well be having a conversation with a rock. Really? I wouldn't have expected that, Yuri. For someone as gentle as you? I guess you could say that. But if a story makes me think or takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment. That line felt a hell of a lot like foreshadowing. I'm looking at you, and now I'm looking at the game, and now I'm looking back at you, and now I'm looking back at the game, and now I'm looking back at you. I'm making full eye contact. Anime girl, you. Anime girl, me, you. Anime girl, me, you, right? Hi, Peaches. Not you, Pablo. Okay, you could say hi to people again. Hey, hi, Pablo. Not camera shy, this one. Or this one, apparently. Well, it's a good break from whatever this is going to become. So, you know, we'll stick with that. I hate horror. Well, Natsuki, I hate to break it to you. Oh, why's that? Well, Natsuki's eyes dart over to me for a split second. Never mind. That's right, you usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? What? What gives you that idea? You left a piece of scrap paper behind the last club meeting. I look like you were working on a poem called Don't Say It Out Loud! And give that back! Fine, fine. Your cupcakes, your poems, everything you do is just as cute as you are. Sayori sidles up behind Natsuki and puts her hands over her shoulders. I'm not cute! Natsuki, you write your own poems? Well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care? I think that's impressive. Why don't you share them sometime? No! Natsuki averts her eyes. You wouldn't like them. Not a very confident writer yet. I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities and showing them the deepest reaches of your own heart. Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example and help Natsuki feel comfortable enough to share hers. I guess if it's the same for Yuri. Aw, I wanted to read everyone's poems. Well, we all sit in silence for a moment. Okay. I have an idea, everyone. Huh? I don't know how to give that audio. Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monika. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. Then next time we meet, we'll all share them with each other. That way, everyone is even. Yeah, let's do it! Plus, now that we have a new member, I think it will help us all get a little more comfortable with each other and strengthen the bond of the club. Isn't that right, Jordan? Monika smiles warmly at me once again. Hold on. There's still one problem. Huh? What's that? Now that we're back to the original topic of me joining the club, I bluntly come forth with what's been on my mind the entire time. I never said I would join this club. Sayori may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made a decision. I still have other clubs to look at, and I lose my train of thought. All four girls stare back at me with dejected eyes. Me, you, anime girls, you, anime girls, me, anime girls, you, anime girls, me. But, I'm sorry, I thought, Jordan, you all, I'm defenseless against these girls. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? By not just sexualizing them? This is coming from a demisexual, so like I understand where he's coming from, but like, don't immediately sexualize people you meet. Like, just as a practice, like I don't care if you're on the A spectrum or not, like just don't do it. How about that, Anime Jordan? How's that for a goddamn lesson for you? Didn't expect that, did you? You came to a True Red Revenge video and you're like, oh, it's gonna be stupid, it's gonna be bad, it's poorly produced, it's poorly edited. Okay, I get that. But did you expect a knowledge bomb? No. No, you didn't. Oh, you did? Well, fuck you. That is, if writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls. Oh, it feels sick. It feels dirty. I don't like it. Right. Okay, I've decided then. I'll join the literature club. Me and my erection. Apparently. One by, because he said he couldn't make it clear at a decision. The dude's just horny. I don't know. One by one, the girl's eyes light up. Yes, I'm so happy! Sayori wraps her arms around me, jumping up and down. Hey, you really did scare me for a moment. If you really just came for the cupcakes, I would be super pissed. Then that makes it official. Welcome to the literature club. Thanks, I guess. Okay, everyone. I think with that, we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone remember tonight's assignment. Write a poem to bring to the next meeting so we can all share. Monika looks over at me once more. Jordan, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. Me too. Are you flirting with me? Monika. Monika. I'm taken, Monika. Monika, Holly is going to beat your ass. She's gonna jump in anime form and beat your ass. I just know it. Yeah? Can I really impress the class star Monika with my mediocre writing skills? I already feel the anxiety welling up inside me. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri and Natsuki clean up their food. Hey Jordan, since we're already here, do you want to walk home together? That's right. Sayori and I never walk home together anymore because she's always stayed after school for the clubs. Sure, might as well dance a tango to hell. Yay! Oh, shit. Oh, they opened the closet. That's horrifying. I didn't know they could do that. With that, the two of us depart the club room and make our way home. The whole way, my mind wanders back and forth between the four girls. Sayori, Natsuki, Yuri, and of course, Monika. Will I really be happy spending every day after school in the literature club? Perhaps I'll have the chance to grow closer to one of these girls. Or, hear me out, grow closer to actually reading books. I don't know, Jordan. This Jordan and this Jordan are gonna have some pretty heavy cognitive dissonance. Anyway. Alright. I'll just need to make the most of my circumstances, and I'm sure good fortune will find me. And I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. I can't write poetry for shit. It's time to write a poem. Pick words you think your favorite club member will like. Something good might happen with whoever likes your poem the most. Is there a reason Monika's not here? Because I was gonna go for Monika, actually. But, okay, so... Yuri said she likes horror. Natsuki likes cute, and Sayori is just kind of... What does Sayori... Sayori's like neutral? Like, I don't remember what we learned. I just remember the horror interaction. So I think, if it's not Monika, I think it might be Yuri. But also I like Sayori because we have like that bond already. So I don't know what Sayori would like. Oh, I'm gonna overthink this, aren't I? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch it. Yuri. All right, Yuri it is. So she was going for... She likes horror recently. So, unrequited. Scars. Tragedy. Uncontrollable? Anxiety? Frightening is literally the meaning of horror, but anxiety is also horror, coming from somebody who has it. Frightening. Horror. Misfortune. God. Ooh, that's a good one, but graveyard is more on the nose. Ooh. None of these are really all that scary. Boop, I guess. I don't know. Boop. I don't know. Vitality. Incapable. Broken. Okay, broken is a good one. Extreme. Disaster. Oh, they're jumping as I choose words. I just noticed that. Suicide? Okay. A little bit too excited about that one, Yuri. Agonizing. Hopeless. Oh, why? Wait, why Sayori for hopeless? Why? Wait, why though? Okay, death. Wait, why? You're seeing that, right? Like, existence. Okay. I should have been paying more attention to that. Misery. See, this is not at all what I expected from Sayori. Okay, excitement, game, skirt, treasure, dance, tears? This is getting sad. That actually scares me for her. Or am I reading too much into it? Is it just like certain words? Or I don't know. Incongruent. Melancholy. So I think we gotta, I wasn't paying attention for half of it, but it's gonna be between Yuri and Sayori. I don't know who was more. I think I saw Yuri jump more, but I'm worried about why Sayori jumped at the words that she jumped at. Very worried. Hi again, Jordan. Glad to see you didn't run away on us. Nah, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but at least I keep my word. Well, I'm back at the literature club. I was last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Thanks for keeping your promise, Jordan. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you, making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. Oh, come on, like he deserves any slack. Sayori told me you don't even want to join any clubs this year. And last year too. I don't know if you plan to just come here and hang out or what, but if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it. Natsuki, you certainly have a big mouth for someone who keeps her manga collection in the club room. Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga. Manga is literature! Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back into her seat. Don't worry, guys. Jordan always gives us his best as long as he's having fun. He helps me with busy work without even asking. Like cooking, cleaning my room. How dependable. Sayori, that's because your room is so messy it's distracting. And you almost set your house on fire once. Is that so? You two are really good friends, aren't you? I might be a little jealous. How come? You and Jordan can become good friends too. Sayori. As usual, Sayori seems oblivious to the weird situation she just put me into. Oh, Yuri even brought something today, you know. Wait, Sayori. Me? Not really. Don't be shy. It's really nothing. What is it? Never mind. Sayori made it sound like a big deal when it's really not. What do I do? I'm sorry, Yuri, I wasn't thinking. I guess that means it's up to me to rescue the situation. Hey, don't worry about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place. So any nice gesture from you is a pleasant surprise. It'll make me happy no matter what. Is that so? Yeah, I won't make it a big deal if you don't want it to be. All right. Well, here. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention even if you don't usually read. And we could, discuss it if you wanted. Why? Why did she make that kinda dirty? Her body language implied that it was more than discussion. Yuri! This is our second meeting. How is this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked out a book she thinks I'll like despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Whew. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Now that everyone's settled in, I expected Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the club, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Sayori and Monica are having a cheery conversation in the corner. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. For what? I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a little bit more, but at the same time I would feel bad distracting her from her reading. I catch a glimpse of the cover of her book. It looks like the same book she lent to me. I assumed that was the case. Was that not, I inferred that because she wanted to discuss a book. Once I read a book and I move on to another, that other book starts to fade from memory a little bit. I remember certain bits and pieces, but I assumed it was the same book. More than that, she seems to be on the first 3 pages. Crap. I think she noticed me staring at her. It wasn't looking, we were staring. I know you, Jordan. I know you, Anime Jordan. I know who you are. She sneaks another glance at me and our eyes meet for a split second. But that only makes her hide her face deeper in the book. Sorry. I was just spacing out. I mutter this, sensing I made her uncomfortable. Oh, it's fine. If I was focused, then I probably wouldn't have noticed in the first place. But I'm just rereading a bit of this, so... That's the book you gave me, right? Mm-hmm. I wanted to reread some of it. Not for any particular reason. Just curious, how come you have 2 copies of the same book? Well, since I stopped at the bookstore yesterday, that's not what I meant. I mean, I just happened to buy 2 of them. Ah, I see. Smooth, Yuri. I relate to Yuri a lot, actually. I was very awkward. Still am, socially, but not this awkward. There's something fairly obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decided to let it go. I'll definitely start reading it soon. I'm glad to hear. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's a very engaging and relatable story. Is that so? What's it about, anyway? Well, Yuri closes the book and scans her eyes over the back. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. There's an ominous-looking eye symbol on the front cover. All right. I just wanted to make sure I don't accidentally give anything away. Basically, it's about this girl in high school who moves in with her long-lost younger sister. But as soon as she does so, her life gets really strange. She gets targeted by these people who escaped from a human experiment prison. Oh, shit. And while her life is in danger, she needs to desperately choose who to trust. I want to read this book. Is it a book? Is it a real book? No matter what she does, she ends up destroying most of her relationships and her life starts to fall apart. It's kind of dark, isn't it? Yuri made it sound like it was going to be a nice story, so that dark turn came out of nowhere. Yuri gently giggles all of a sudden. Are you not a fan of that sort of thing, Jordan? No, it's not that. I mean, I can definitely enjoy those kinds of stories, so don't worry. I hope so. Yeah, I totally forgot Yuri's into those things. I didn't. See, I'm paying attention, Anime Jordan. Get your shit together. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different. It's just that those kinds of stories, they challenge you to look at life from a strange new perspective. When horrible things happen, not just because someone wants to be evil, but because they have their own goals or their own philosophy that they believe in. Then suddenly, when you thought you related to the protagonist, they're made out to be the naive one for letting their one-sided morals interfere with the villain's plans. I'm rambling, aren't I? Not again. I'm sorry. Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything. Well, I guess it's all right then. I remember growing up in high school, I was always unabashedly talking about what made me passionate at the time, and that only grew stronger as I got older. But when you're that young, people don't want to listen to things they're not interested in. You see that all the time on the internet. I mean, TikTok is a great example of this. Like you just swipe through things that don't interest you like immediately. You know what I mean? And so I have this now bad habit of apologizing in advance about rambling, even if it's not a ramble. But I am lucky enough now to have friends who tell me to shut the fuck up when I'm rambling, because they genuinely do want to hear it, but they also know, and they also too probably have experienced that coming up. I'm pretty sure a couple of my friends have. So, just let people be passionate. Let them enjoy what they love and just enjoy their enjoyment, right? Like, even if you don't find it interesting, listen to it, because 1, you might learn something, and 2, that's what life is about. Point blank, period. All right. Anyway, enough of the life lessons. It's not going to be enough. I will say more because I'm long-winded like that. Anyway, I guess it's all right then. But I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. When I let things like books and writing fill my thoughts, I kind of forget to pay attention to other people. So I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange. And please stop me if I start talking too much. I really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. Anime Jordan and I are now on the same page. The least I can do is listen. On the same page. It's a literature club after all. That's true. In fact, I might as well get started reading it, right? You don't have to. What are you saying? Just a moment ago you said you were looking forward to it. Let me just get the book. I quickly retrieve the book that I put into my bag. All right, it's fine if I sit here, right? I slip into the seat next to Yuri's. Yeah. Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive. I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to. It's just something I'm not very used to. That is, reading in company with someone. I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything. All right. I open the book and start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not a particularly bad thing. Maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri is in the corner of my eye. I realize she's not actually looking down at her own book. I glance over. It looks like she's reading from my book instead. Sorry. I was just... Yuri, you really apologize a lot too. I do? I don't really mean to. Sorry. I saw that coming. Yeah. I mean... Here, this should work, right? I slide my desk up against Yuri's, then hold my book more between the two of them. I suppose so. See, Anime Jordan has, like, game, but he's just too quick about it. I have no game. But I can tell objectively looking at this and all the cues and the obvious blushing that they are hardcore flirting. And it is Anime Jordan's fault because Anime Jordan is a horn dog. Once we lean in a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. Horn dog! Feels like my left arm's in the way, so I instead use my right hand to hold the book open. I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the page. Here. We are really close. We are up close and personal. Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and forefinger. I do the same with my right arm on the right side of the book. That way, I turn a page, Yuri slides it under her thumb after it flips to the side. But in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer together than before. Horn dog! We're huddled even closer together than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. Horn dog! It's as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face as she's in the corner of my vision. Are you ready? Are you ready? Just turn the page. Oh, sorry. I think I got a bit distracted for a second. Anime Jordan, stop it. I glance over at Yuri's face again and our eyes meet. I don't know if I'll be able to keep up with her. That's okay. You're not as used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. It's probably the least I can do, since you're being so impatient with me. Yeah. Thanks. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she finishes the page before me, so I turn it by my own volition. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to the side as she catches it under her own thumb. Hey, Yuri. This might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit. You think so? How does she? Well, I guess she's more blunt in a lot of ways, but she also second guesses all of the things that she says and does. Like she's afraid she'll do something wrong. It's not like I can see into your head or anything, but they're kind of reminiscent of your mannerisms. I see. Yuri remains silent for a moment. But Jordan, that's probably a terrible thing to have in common with her. And the game is lost. Anime Jordan fucked it up. He got in too deep, and now he fucked up. That's so embarrassing that you think that. But wait! I didn't mean it a bad way or anything. Sorry, I really don't know you were self-conscious about that sort of thing. I guess I meant it more that it's kind of cute. And he tries to reel it back in, but it made me cringe a little bit. Just a tad. What are you saying all of a sudden? Okay, everyone. I think it's about time we share today's poems with each other. We might not have enough time if we wait too long. Yuri exhales, spared from finishing her thought. Is that all right, Yuri? You look kind of down. I'm sorry if you haven't been looking forward to this. It's not. It's fine. Yuri releases her hand from her book, causing it to close on top of my thumb. All right. I guess I'll do some more reading tonight. Or would you prefer I only read it with you? I guess I don't have too much of a preference either way. In that case, I'll read a little bit more tonight. It'll be more fun to read with you after it picks up a bit, you know? That's good reasoning. In that case, feel free to finish the first 2 chapters in your own time. All right. I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left off in the book, then slip it back into my bag. By the way, did you remember to write a poem last night? Yeah. My relaxation ends. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. I couldn't really find much inspiration since I've never really done this before. Well, now that everyone's ready, why don't we find someone to share with? I can't wait! Sayori and Monica enthusiastically pull out their poems. Sayori's is wrinkled in a sheet of loose leaf torn from a spiral notebook. On the other hand, Monica wrote hers in a composition notebook. I can already see Monica's pristine handwriting from where I sit. Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their bags. I do the same myself. Who should I show my... We spent a lot of time with Yuri. I think we should check in on Sayori. Definitely most comfortable sharing it with Sayori first. She's my good friend after all. Oh my goodness! This is so good, Jordan. Eh? I love it! I had no idea you were such a good writer. Sayori, you must be seriously overacting. I'm not a good writer at all. I honestly have no idea what I'm doing. Well, maybe that's why. Because I have no idea what I like either. Jeez. I'm sure Yuri's opinion has to be a little more constructive than this. Maybe even Natsuki's. Are you sure you don't like it just because I wrote it? Eh? Well, I'm sure that's part of it. I think I understand you better than a lot of people, you know? So when I read your poem, it's not just a poem, it's a Jordan poem. And that makes it feel extra special. Like I could feel your feelings in it. Sayori hugs the sheet against her chest. You're so weird, Sayori. I'm really happy that you wrote one. It reminds me of how you're really part of the club now. Not to mention the fact that I'm standing in front of you in the club room. Well, of course. I'm not really into it yet, but that doesn't mean I'll break my promise. See? It's like I said before, Jordan. Deep down, you're not selfish at all, you know. Trying new things like this for other people? That's something only a really good people do. A really good people? Okay, yeah. I can't read, apparently. Thanks, Sayori. I'm not sure if Sayori sees the full picture of my motive here. Then again, I can't deny that she's part of the reason I joined. Knowing how much this means to her and all. Yeah. And I'm gonna make sure you have lots of fun here, okay? That'll be my way of thanking you. Alright, I'm going to hold... alright, I'm gonna hold you to that then. Yay! Now you read my poem too, right? Don't worry, I'm really bad at this. Okay, we'll see about that. Dear sunshine, the way you glow through my blinds in the morning, it makes me feel like you missed me. Kissing my forehead to help me out of bed, making me rub the sleepy from my eyes. Are you asking me to come out and play? Are you trusting me to wish away a rainy day? I look above, the sky is blue. It's a secret, but I trust you too. If it wasn't for you, I could sleep forever, but I'm not mad. I want breakfast. Okay. Sayori, this is just a guess, but did you wait until this morning to write this? No! Just a little bit. You can't answer just a little bit to a yes or a no question. I forgot to do it last night. Well, at least that makes me feel a little bit better about myself. Don't be mean. I still tried my best. Yeah. I didn't mean to say that it was a bad poem, because it actually wasn't. The ending there was a little depressing, but it came out nice, or how should I put it? It sounds just like you. Really? Yeah. Especially that last line. I made eggs and toast! Cool. Even though you were late to school, it's bad to skip breakfast. I get all cranky. Well, I guess there's no point in arguing. Anyway, thanks for showing me. This was so much fun. Monica's the best. Yeah. But next time, I won't forget. And I'm gonna write the best poem ever. Well, I guess I look forward to it. Who's next? Monica maybe, right? Monica? Hi, Jordan. Having a good time so far? Yeah. Good, good. Glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Anyway, want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. I hate when she does that pose. That fucking pose. How is she rocking that pose? Oh, that hurts. Monica! I did not sign up for a yoga class, but that actually kind of felt good for the upper back. A little bit, not gonna lie. Don't worry, Jordan. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know? But it's that sort of barrier that we'll all learn to get past soon. Yeah, that's true. I hand Monica my poem. Great job, Jordan. I was going, ooh, in my head while reading it. It's really metaphorical. I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. I guess I underestimated you. It's easiest for me to keep everyone's expectations low. That way, it always counts when I put in some effort. That's not very fair. Well, I guess it worked anyway. You know that Yuri likes this kind of writing, right? Writing that's full of imagery and symbolism. Unlike Sayori, who's always using simple and direct words to describe happiness and sadness. Yuri likes it when readers are left to derive their own meaning out of it. It's very challenging to write that like that effectively, both allowing people to get something out of it just by feel, or letting them deeply analyze all the nuances. It could take years of practice, which I'm assuming Yuri has at this point. I never really asked, though. I'm sure I'm nowhere near her level yet. Don't worry so much about that. You do your own thing. Just keep exploring and learn by trying new things. That is good fucking advice, Monica. You got it. I'm sure I'll end up trying different things a lot. Could take a while before I feel comfortable doing this. That's okay. I'd love to see you try new things. And that's the best way to find the kind of style that suits you. Everyone else might be a bit biased toward their own kinds of styles, but I'll always help you find what suits you the most. Don't force yourself to write it the way everyone else wants you to write. It's not like you have to worry about impressing them or anything. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to not be very good. Well, that's because I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know? I do know. Anyway, I see. Well, let's read it then. Hole in wall. It could have been me. C, the direction the spackle protrudes. A noisy neighbor. An angry boyfriend. I'll never know. I wasn't home. I peer inside for a clue. No, I can't see. I reel, blind, like a film left out in the sun. But it's too late. My retinas. Already scorched with a permanent copy of the meaningless image. It's just a little hole. It wasn't too bright. It was too deep. Stretching forever into everything. A hole of infinite choices. I realize now that I wasn't looking in. I was looking out. And he, on the other side, was looking in. So at first, I had a lot of ideas about what this was about. But that ending is kind of direct, right? I was looking out, and he on the other side was looking in. Is that referring to me looking into the game? Is she breaking the fourth wall a little bit here? Is that like a slight way of breaking the fourth wall? Or am I just dumb? Because like it also fits with the poem. Like it fits with the theme of the poem. Because at first I thought the poem was about her finding somebody hurt or dead even. And because she's like, a noisy neighbor, an angry boyfriend, I'll never know, I wasn't home. And then peers inside for a clue. But I'm wondering if that means she peered inside to her own existence and realizes that she... Am I reading too deep into this? Should I shut up? I'm gonna shut up. So, what do you think? It's very freeform, if that's what you call it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. That's okay. Yeah, that kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems that have been putting emphasis on timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. What was the inspiration behind this one? Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say that I had some kind of epiphany recently. This is feeling a little too on the nose, and it could just be my theory. My game theory! Sorry, wrong channel. An epiphany? Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. I am slipping into a slightly British accent, and I don't know why. Just force yourself to get something down on the paper and tidy it up later. It fits. I like it. Another way to think about this is, if you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. You're welcome, Monica. Who's next? Natsuki has manga, and we spent a lot of time with Yuri, but I feel like we're getting really close to Yuri. I feel like if we save her for last, it's rude. But it's also rude to Natsuki, because we said nothing to her. Ugh. Yuri. As Yuri reads the poem, I notice her eyes lighten. Exceptional. What was that? Huh? Did I say that out loud? Yuri first covers her mouth, but then ends up covering her whole face. He's going to hate me. You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri. Huh? I guess you're right. What am I getting so nervous for? Yuri takes a breath. So, I'm stuck in Monica's voice. So, what kind of writing experience do you have? Your use of imagery and metaphors indicate you've written a lot of poetry before. Really? Wow, that's a huge compliment coming from you. This is actually my first time, really. Huh? Yuri stares at me blankly, then looks at my poem again. Well, I know that. I just meant, Yuri trails off, unable to find an excuse. She traces her finger along the words in the poem as if breaking it down more thoroughly. Yeah, okay. This is the reason I was able to tell. It's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers, and having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form-fit the two together. The end result is both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thoughts, as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone, and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little biased, though. Biased how? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry. It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri's apologizing to herself, to me, or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Please do. I'd love to share my thoughts process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily as if it's a rare opportunity for her, which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Ghost under the light. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow. Bathing. It must be this one. The last remaining streetlight to have withstood the test of time. The last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe, calm, breathing air of the present, but living in the past. The light flickers, I flicker back. That was good! That was good, Yuri! Holy shit! I'm sorry I have such terrible handwriting. Actually, it was decent handwriting. Everybody so far has had great handwriting. My handwriting is absolute shit. What? I wasn't thinking about that at all! But it took you a long time to read. Well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. Huh? That's a relief. Also, I like the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive.
it wasn't too short? I usually write longer poems.
Not at all.
I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest, since our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose.
Are you into ghosts, Yuri?
Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, Jordan.
Really? I must have totally missed the point.
Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all. But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps, the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost, lingering in her last place of comfort, unable to let go of the past.
That's exactly what I took from it. Anime Jordan is not on par.
And soon to be left with nothing.
That's a lot more solemn putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive.
Eh? It's nothing, really. Yours is impressive too, so...
Nah. If anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from you.
You think so?
Yeah, of course.
You know, I was really nervous about doing all this. But in the end, I enjoyed it. I'm going to keep doing my best for you, Jordan.
Me too. And that leaves Natsuki.
Jordan, if you're not going to take this club seriously, then go home.
What? Harsh? What? You expect me to believe that you actually put effort into this? Do you think I'm stupid? I'm not a writer. Maybe it's not very good, but yeah, I did put in effort. We all start somewhere, right? If you're still proud of the first poem you ever wrote, then I'd like to read it. Painful to think about? Fine. Well, sorry. You'll get better anyway. I tell you what to improve, but you're better off just trying again. Fair enough. Well, to each their own, I guess. Anyway, I guess I gotta share mine now. Knowing you, you'll probably think it's stupid. Eagles can fly, monkeys can climb, crickets can leap, horses can race, owls can seek, cheetahs can run, eagles can fly, people can try, but that's about it. Okay, at first I was like, really? As I was reading it, and then we got to the end, and that was a lot. that was actually pretty deep. Yeah, I told you that you weren't gonna like it. I actually did, Natsuki. As mean as you're being to me, I did like it. I like it. What? What? Just be honest. I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it? Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff. So people don't even take my writing seriously. But isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. And it actually was a pretty good message. Yes, exactly. I like it when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Like in this poem, seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening. So I decided to write about it. Yeah, I understand. But the other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like I set up for a rhyme at the end, but then made it fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling in the last line. So you did. I guess more went into it than I realized. That's what it means to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something. Didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did you? Yeah, I guess not. I decided to humor her with that last comment. I don't really care about how old everyone is, but if Natsuki is feeling proud, then I won't take it away from her. Whew. I guess that's everyone. I glance around the room. That was a little bit more stressful than I anticipated. It's as if everyone is judging me for my mediocre writing abilities. Even if they're just being nice, there's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. This is a literature club after all. I sigh. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Sayora and Monica are happily chatting. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Oh, so that means while we're exchanging poetry, at least one person was left out the entire time. I forgot about that. Math is wild, yo.
As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly. What's with this language? Huh? Did you say something? Oh, it's nothing. Natsuki dismissively returns the poem to the desk with one hand. I guess you could say it's fancy. Thanks. Yours is cute. Cute? Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feeling of giving up. How can that be cute? I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice. Eh? You mean you have to try that hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but it really didn't come out nice at all. Well, I do have a couple suggestions. Huh. If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Sayori liked it, and Jordan did too. So based on that, I'll give you some suggestions of my own. First of all, excuse me, I appreciate the offer, but I've spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect it to change anytime soon, unless of course I come across something particularly inspiring, which I haven't yet. And Jordan liked my poem too, you know. He even told me he was impressed by it. Okay, I don't need a cat fight. I don't need that. I don't understand fighting over significant others. I get the anger. I've been in that place, but it's never worth it. Period. Really isn't. Natsuki suddenly stands up. Oh, I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri. Huh? That's not what you're just... Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you're just jealous that Jordan appreciates my advice more than he appreciated yours. Huh? And how do you know he didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself? No. If I was full of myself, I would deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy. Yuri! Yuri! Is everyone okay? Well, you know what? I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Jordan started showing up. Natsuki. Natsuki, that's a little... I can't do their voices in tandem. This doesn't involve you. I don't like fighting, guys. Suddenly, both girls turned towards me as if they noticed I was standing there. Jordan, she's just trying to make me look bad. That's not true. She started it. If she could get over herself and learn to appreciate that simple writing is more effective, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. What's the point in making your poems all convoluted for no reason? The meaning should jump at the reader, not force them to have to figure it out. Disagree. Help me explain that to her, Jordan. But wait, there's a reason we have so many deep and expressive words in our language. It's the only way to convey complex feeling and meaning the most effectively. Avoiding them is not only unnecessarily limiting yourself, it's also a waste. You understand that, right, Jordan? Anime Jordan, you gotta stay out of this, bud. Well... how'd I get dragged into this in the first place? It's not like I know anything about writing. Ugh. But whomever I agree with, they'll probably think more highly of me. We're taking... Natsuki glares at me, drying up any words I had in my mouth, so instead I turn to Yuri. Yuri? But Yuri's expression is so defenseless I can't bring myself to say anything to her. Sayori! Huh? Yeah. Everyone's fighting is making Sayori uncomfortable. Just Sayori and no one else. No one else in this room is uncomfortable. Just Sayori. It's making her uncomfortable, so we should stop. How can the two of you keep fighting when you know you're making your friend feel like this? Jordan? Well, that's her problem. This isn't about her. I agree. It's unfair to others to interject their own feelings into our conflict. Yeah, unless Sayori wants to tell Yuri what a stuck-up jerk she's being. Oh, fuck. Oh, god damn it. She would she would never. It's your immaturity that made her upset in the first place.
Excuse me? Are you listening to yourself? This is exactly why nobody likes... Stop!
Natsuki, Yuri, you guys are my friends. I just want everyone to get along and be happy. My friends are wonderful people, and I love them because of their differences. Natsuki's poems, they're amazing because they give you so many feelings with just a few words. And Yuri's poems are amazing because they paint beautiful pictures in your head. Everyone's so talented. So why are we fighting?
Get him, Sayori.
Because, well, also, Natsuki's cute, and there's nothing wrong with that. And Yuri's boobs are the same as they always.
Well, good to know. Good to know that. Big and beautiful. Sayori. Sayori stands triumphantly. Monica stands behind her with a bewildered expression.
I'll make some tea.
Yuri rushes off. Natsuki sits down with a blank expression on her face, staring at nothing.
So this is why Sayori's vice president.
I whisper to Monica. She nods in return. Oh, I did Monica's voice.
To be honest, I might come off as a good leader and I can organize things, but I'm not very good with people. I couldn't even bring myself to interject. As president, that's kind of embarrassing of me.
Nah, it's not like I can blame you. I wasn't able to say anything either.
Well, I guess that just means Sayori is amazing in her own ways, isn't she?
You could say that. I said all of that in my regular voice. She might be an airhead, but sometimes it's weirdly suspicious that she knows exactly what she's doing.
I see. Take good care of her, okay? I would hate to see her get herself hurt.
That makes two of us, Monica. You can count on me, Monica. Monica smiles sweetly at me, causing my stomach to knot. Anime Jordan's stomach is not nodding because he has way too much hormones going on. My stomach is nodding for an entirely different reason. I really wanted to get to know Monica, but the more I get to know Monica, the more it's weirding me out. Such a genuine person really does make a good president, regardless of what she says. If only I could get the chance to talk to her a little more. And we never do, I'm guessing. So fine.
Okay, everyone. It's just about time for us to leave. How did you all feel about sharing poems?
It was a lot of fun.
Well, I'd say it was worth it.
It was all right. Well, mostly. Jordan, how about you? Yeah, I'd say the same. It was neat to talk about, it was a neat thing to talk about with everyone.
Awesome. In that case, we'll do the same thing tomorrow. And maybe you learned something from your friends too. So your poems will turn out even better.
I think to myself, I did learn a little bit more about the poems, the kinds of poems everyone likes. With any luck, that means I can at least do a better job impressing those I want to impress. I nod to myself with a newfound determination. Jordan, ready to walk home? Sure, let's go. Sayori beams at me. It truly has been a while since Sayori and I have spent this much time together. I can't really say I'm not enjoying it either. Sayori, about what happened earlier.
Huh? What do you mean?
You know, between Yuri and Natsuki. Does that kind of thing happen often?
No. That's really the first time I've seen them fight like that. I promise they're both wonderful people. You don't hate them, do you?
No, I don't hate them. I just wanted your opinion, that's all. I can see why they'd make good friends with you.
You know, Jordan, it's nice that I got to spend time with you in the club. But I think seeing you get along with everyone is what makes me the happiest. And I think everyone really likes you too.
That's...
Every day is gonna be so much fun.
Looks like Sayori still hasn't caught onto the kind of situation I'm in. Sure, being friends with everyone is nice, but does it really need to stop there? Anime Jordan, put your dick away. I don't think he did. He didn't put it away. We'll just have to see what the future holds, Sayori.
I pat Sayori on the shoulder. I said that more to myself than to her, but it's easy to use Sayori as an internal monologue sometimes. Okay. Yeah, let's do this. Hell yeah. I am going to end the episode here.
So far, so good.
It's been a long time since I've done anything visual novel-esque, so this is kind of cool to kind of see how our poems end up. I don't know if the story is the same no matter what. Again, I stayed away from all this as much as possible. The only thing I recall is seeing thumbnails of Monica everywhere. So of course I'm suspicious of Monica, but it's also the reason why I wanted to interact with Monica more. Which, as you can tell on the second poem screen, she's still not there. I hope you found this the first episode enjoyable. The second episode I will work on literally right now. But what I want from you guys in the comments below is your best poem. I want to know your thoughts on everything. Leave a like on this video, please. It helps me out a lot. It helps me know that this is what you want more of this. I will continue to play it. Literally, as soon as I stop recording this recording, I will be starting the next one. Subscribe if you want to see more of my face on a regular basis, and I will see you guys in the next video. Okay.